Welcome, Laura and Julia. So, why don't you tell us when you started dancing and maybe one or two people that influenced you when you were growing up dancing? So, Julia, do you want to start?
Sure. I started dancing when I was 3 years old. Um, but as most people know, my family was very intertwined with Maine State Ballet. So I went on stage when I was 6 months old with Mr. Mealy, which was kind of cool. But so I started dancing when I was 3, and as I grew up, I remember like sitting in the studio at the old Westbrook Maine State Ballet and like watching. I remember sitting with the fairy princess who was Jessica Cook, and like what else? I don't think I remember the twins. I just remember watching all my sister's friends in like that era. And I thought they were all really cool. I forget her name. Who's the girl who did the PK turn and her photo was up on the wall at Maine State? She had like perfect form. She was doing
Leslie
Chinese.
Flores.
Yes. I
Leslie?
think it was
Yeah.
Leslie. I remember watching her, and yeah, I liked watching all the older dancers.
Yeah, that's awesome. Laura?
Okay. I started dancing when I was 3. I did start at Maine State Ballet. I had Miss Gretchen the first time I danced. Someone who I looked up to. I had a family also intertwined with Maine State Ballet. I had cousins, and my mom actually used to dance at Maine State Ballet. She wasn't very good, but used to dance at Maine State Ballet. And my aunts actually used to dance, and my grandmother danced when it was Dorothy Mason. So
Yeah, that's awesome. We're like a family affair. I love that. What are so we would be doing recital this week. What are some favorite dances that you guys had or memorable moments? I mean, for me, it would be getting thrown across the stage at age 8.
Oh my god, I remember that.
But what are some fun memories you guys have?
I think the first like memory I have in my own like mind of a recital is I remember having your dad for tap, I think it was, and I think we had these like yellow slickers and like an umbrella or something. It was a tap dance, and I just remember saying "put on a happy face." I don't remember how old I was, but I remember one year, Laura, you may have been in this class. We had Madame for recital for thousands of years because Emma Rose was in our class. But we were wearing, I remember Delaney Patton Harris was in our class, and we had these like hot pink tutus on, and we were about to go
In
on,
Spanish?
and someone peed on the stage.
Oh yeah, I
Right
remember
where we were
that.
supposed to go. But shoot, there's another one. I don't know. I don't come back to me. No, I don't know. I loved all of the recital dances. Oh, at the hop. That's the one.
With the
I remember I had like Rain Chase in my class, and her mom made all these little like trays for us to have, and we were like, Mr. Mealy choreographed this little dance, and then I got so angry the next year because Adrian's class got to do it in Tap Tap Jazz and we didn't, and that's all I'll say.
and cut.
Okay. One of my favorite dances that I did, Gypsies with Madame. It was so special because she actually handmade all of her tutus. And we all got to wear like the gypsy skirts, but like we all had a different colored tutu, and she made all of them, which was really nice. And I had a solo when we first went on stage. I got to like come in by myself and like bore across the stage. I thought I was so cool. Um, Another fun memory I have
Yeah,
is
you did like fouettes in that dance, right?
yeah,
You were
I
featured.
think
She loved you.
yeah, I have probably in every Madame dance I had fouettes. I'm gonna guess that.
Mm-hmm.
Another one was for tap. Um, I don't even remember what the song was. It was as we were wearing like purple, purple outfits. Janet Davis choreographed it. It was like, and then I remember that.
No rag.
Yeah, I remember that because the music that we practiced and then the music that we had for dress rehearsal was completely different. It like was the same, but it sounded like really weird.
I was like, oh man, those are so good. And didn't you wear a wig once? You wore.
So when I came back to Maine State Ballet, I had Miss Christine for a jazz teacher, and we did Look What Happened to Mabel, and I was like, I don't know, like 10 or 11, and she had us wear these black wigs that were like horrendous, but they were like short, and then she put like mascara or eyeshadow, like big circles on all of us. I have no idea why. But yeah, I remember that.
I just remember seeing that like during picture day and like not knowing what was going on.
Yeah, and we had like big black eye. I don't know what the point of that was, but
oh man.
But yeah, I had to wear a wig. I've had to wear a lot of different headpieces for ballets and recital.
Yeah. So you guys both went away to college and then came back to Maine State Ballet. So do you want to talk a little bit about that and why you decided to come back and what that experience was like?
You sucked us in. Okay, so let me see if I can be concise here. So basically, it's gonna be kind of a long story, sorry. A lot of my close friends when I was in high school were older than me. And so my junior year was a number of people's senior year. And so they were all getting ready to go. And they all had this mindset like, I'm leaving, I don't really like ballet anymore, whatever. And so of course I picked up on that. And I didn't really like that, like I wasn't really like putting my all into it. And I remember talking with Mrs. Mealy after they all left, and she was like, yeah, I'm not super impressed basically like with your performance. Like I can tell that you're not really trying super hard, and I don't really see you doing dewdrop before you leave for college, if you leave for college. And that like crushed me because I was like, I felt like my whole dance career was like just a steady like ascending path, and I felt like dewdrop was what was next for me, and hearing her say that was like crushing. And so I was like, okay, I have to work my butt off. So I basically then worked really hard for my senior year, and I started to actually feel like I was getting really good. And then when I decided I wanted to go away to school in like March, I think maybe, of my senior year, I immediately was like, I don't know if that was the right choice, because then we performed Swan Lake, and Swan Lake was super awesome, and I thought that was going to be my last show. And then I found we were doing Don Quixote in the summer, and she told me I would do Mercedes, which I was like, oh my God. And so I did that. And so I did Mercedes, and then I had 4 days to pack up everything and go away to college. So ballet was still so like in me when I went away to school. And then I just couldn't like stop thinking about it. I even like came back and did Nutcracker when I was away at school, which I would like to erase that and not do that. But yeah, so I just felt like I wasn't done. I felt like I was starting to get good, and then right when I was starting to get good, I left. So that's why I came back. Yeah. Was there anything else you asked about it?
No, just that experience, and I'm glad you came back for sure. Always. Laura?
So I danced all through high school, my senior year, and I had some good dance experiences, but I also had some bad dance experiences. I won't go into detail on that. But so I was like, okay, I want to like turn over a new leaf. I want to start over. So I went away to Florida. I did dance in college. I was there for 2 years. And then I was like, you know what? I want to try like dancing again. I feel in a much better space mentally and emotionally. So let's try it again. And I'm glad I came back because I got to do Clara, and I got to do a lot of different roles that I had wanted to do, but obviously I couldn't do when I was in high school. So I am glad I came back. I did have a lot of good experiences when I came back. I felt much better about myself when I came back, and I got to meet a lot of other people, and I got to get close with all the girls that I wasn't close with when I left.
Yeah. You almost needed to go away to understand how much you
Yeah,
appreciate it, you know. It's
yeah.
kind of like right now, like we're all in this little break, and then we're like,
Oh,
where's the normal?
what's the? You're
Yeah.
telling me.
So Laura, talk a little bit about what it was like to do Clara since you came back and that experience and how special that was for you, and then maybe Julia Sugar Plum after that.
So I I came back after 2 years of not being in the Nutcracker. And I hadn't done really any big roles in the Nutcracker. I had done solo here and there, but nothing like Julia's done. And so and so when I found out I was Clara, the first thing
Sorry,
I
go
thought
ahead.
of when I was Clara is that I had to curl my hair. That was like the first thing when I saw my name. I was like, oh no, I have to curl my hair. But I was really excited, and I got to do it with Ari Aiton, who I'm really good friends with, and we dance very well together. But it was really special. My first year, I was definitely a little more nerve-wracked, like to go on stage. Um, there's just one part in Clara where she goes on stage by herself, and being someone who's never gone on stage by myself, and especially Merrill Auditorium, was very nerve-wracking.
In a way,
Um, in a white nightgown,
everyone
yeah,
knows.
you can't hide anything. So, the first year it was very special. I got to do it for a couple shows, and it was a lot of fun. And then my second year, it was really special because I was like, okay, maybe this is gonna be my last year. But I remember going on stage and not being nervous at all. Like I remember the first year I was literally shaking because I was like, okay, like doing a big role here. I got to carry the ballet. Like, what if I mess up? But the second year I was very calm. I was like, okay, like I'll go on stage by myself. Let's just see what happens. So that was really fun. This my last Nutcracker, I had to do some other roles that I was not prepared to do. But McClara, but
Oh yeah, I was like, what are you
Clara,
talking about?
yeah, I was shaking during that too, but because I was so nervous. But Clara is definitely one of the big roles that I will always remember, and I'm so glad I came back and got to do that because it was a goal of mine, like growing up, to be like, I want to do Clara, and I actually got to, which is really cool.
Yeah, I love that, and we could do it together.
Yes, yeah, I got to do it with
Yeah,
every day too.
it is special for you because I feel like so few, like everybody, like I want to be Clara, but so few people like actually get the chance to do
Right.
it. So it is amazing that you got to do it.
Yeah. And Jules,
Oh,
Sugar
my
Plum.
turn.
Yeah.
Um. So it's funny that Laura, I feel like it's natural for you to like be super nervous the first time you do a role, and then when you reprise it, not to be as nervous. Totally the opposite for me. um, my first year of Sugar Plum was amazing and super, definitely scary, but I don't know, like trying to find the words and like remember what it was like. I think that I just felt an overwhelming amount of support from like Mrs. Mealy and Janet and stuff. And Michael as well. He was super amazing and supportive even though he was partnering with 3 people at the same time. But doing Sugar Plum was wait, sorry, I'm going to go back to that support thing, because I think a big part of how successful you feel in your performance depends also on the audience, and how they respond to you, and like who you have in the audience and everything like that. And so I remember like the first time I went on stage for Sugar Plum, there's a video of it, in like the video that Janet made, for like, that was like the compilation video of my whole Sugar Plum experience. The first time I went on stage, there was this like uproar in the audience, not like because I was amazing and deserve like whatever, but it's because I had so many like friends and family in the audience, and that set the pace for the whole rest of the run. I was just very confident, and I knew I could do it, and I felt like I had worked really hard, and I had basically deserved that spot. If you guys feel differently, sorry, but I just, yeah, no, I felt great. And I remember coming off stage after the last pas de deux, that third weekend, and I just started crying. And I think it was because it was just such a surreal experience. Like doing Sugar Plum at Merrill Auditorium for us, like Mainers, you know what I mean? Like, I know I could never make it in New York, so that's as big as I'm gonna get, Like, it was so scary and surreal, and it just hit me. I was like, holy crap, that happened. I started crying. Yeah. But anyways, this past year was like, I've been going through this like emotional roller coaster with ballet for like a year now, and it was way harder to get in the mindset this year. I don't know why, but yeah, it was like serious anxiety going out on that stage and like dancing all by myself and like super quiet music. And I just think that because it was my second year, there wasn't as much like excitement and like, oh my God, you're Sugar Plum. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're doing Sugar Plum again. Great. So like, it was way harder for me to feel confident in myself, unfortunately. But still an amazing experience, still like wild and crazy, but it is definitely scary.
Well, it's like it also like sets in like what you're about to do like on the stage, because like when you do something for the first time, a lot of the time it's like, all right, here we go, and everyone's like, you got this. And then the second year or whenever, how many years you do a role, and then it's like, okay, I have to produce something good because here we are. And it's that sets in, I feel like, for a lot of things.
But definitely with the support thing, I remember doing in Claire, and you probably did this, saw this too, but when at the paw would start, and there's parts of it where like you're looking to the sides of the stage or you're going towards there, and the snowflakes are like,
yeah,
you're like, I can see you.
I know.
Which I know that's just, it's just good because everyone's watching, and you're like, a little bit is like, oh no, like, okay, I gotta actually do okay because there are past Claires, there's other people watching, and then a part of it is like, okay, everyone's here cheering you on, even though they have to go on stage in about 5 seconds. They're there for you.
Yeah, that's funny, because sometimes it's really scary, like especially at the Maine State Ballet Theater, you can see people way easier backstage watching you, and that sucks. But at Merrill, I remember doing like the PK, like the menage in the Sugar Plum variation, and always seeing Glenn in his spot in the second wing, like back to the wing watching. And I remember also this past year there was one pas de deux, like I think maybe the second one, where Michael and I didn't get one of the lifts all the way. And then I remember, I think it was the first one, I don't remember exactly what happened, but basically we didn't get one of the lifts. And I don't remember if it was the second lift in that run or if it was the next show, but we got the whatever next lift it was. And I remember looking backstage and seeing everybody go, yeah. And I was like, yes, thank you. Because yeah, it's nice to have people backstage supporting you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I know. You need that support, because we can't do any, if you feel like people aren't supporting you or not cheering you on, then it's like hard to do anything, you know.
Yeah.
On dance and not dance related things. So we talked a lot about like memorable, special moments. So let's talk about like leotard ballets and like why those are fun and what the because I know you, Julia, especially love the leotard ballets and
I don't love the leotard part of it. I just like
yeah,
the choreography.
So why don't you talk a little bit about like the difference between doing a story ballet and a leotard ballet, and like why you like to move that way and not just the Aurora and the sitting on the side.
Okay, so story ballets are beautiful and classical and sometimes can like oftentimes be very challenging in terms of choreography and stuff like that. But you have to emote and show basically what the character is feeling. And that can be fun, that can be great, you know, like if you're Swanhilda, you get to be hilarious. And I mean, if you're Aurora, it kind of sucks. You just have to smile and be pretty the whole time when you're dying inside. But like, they're pretty and they're sparkly and shiny and they're nice. But I really like the leotard ballets because it's just like you and the music, and it's not like you have to. I think I like them a lot because you just basically have to dance and like just all you have is your technique. And I think in the story ballets a lot of it is very like, I don't know how to word it, but like artistic and like how well can you like flutter and whatever. And I just never felt like a super light, beautiful like dancer. I just felt very like, okay, I just want to do this ballet dance that's basically like a ballet class, but it's to music and it's 20 minutes long and I'm just wearing leotard. And I like Balanchine style, like the classical Balanchine ballets or Mrs. Mealy ballets. Sorry, did I just break up?
Just for like 1 second, but you got back. So
okay. I've also been a super musical dancer my whole life. And so I just really like when you literally dance to the music, like you illustrate what the music is saying, and you don't have to be this character. You're yourself. You're showing the audience who you are through these choreographed steps, kind of. So I think that's why I like them.
Yeah, I love that. I agree. Laura, what do you want to talk a little bit about like doing the Stravinsky ballet and what that was like for you, and then talk about what you like.
So, the Stravinsky ballet was actually my first ballet back in college.
Same.
So I was like, okay, like, I actually liked it. But the thing is,
it was great, getting you in shape.
Oh yeah, no, I was totally not in shape at all, and I was like, okay, like first ballet, maybe I'll take it easy. It was like every move that you can think of and every combination that you can think of was in that, and it was a combination that moves you wouldn't think would go right next to each other. Yeah, so that was very difficult. But learning it was very fun. Doing it a couple times in the shows we did, it was very fun. I liked how it was something different than classical ballets that we had done. Like it was just basically you dance to the music, everyone looks the same. There's no like hierarchy of like lead on some of the dance in some of the dances. Everyone was kind of dancing together and in it together. There wasn't like, oh, I'm above you, like, oh, I'm on this. We were all on stage at the same time. And definitely it was very fun to do. If I had to do it again, I'd probably die because it was a lot of work.
Now,
I remember.
Imagine.
We should do that when MSB opens again. That'll get us right back in shape.
Oh my gosh, no! But like, the move, it was very fun. And it was good to see Mrs. Mealy choreograph because I had never seen that side of her actually choreographing. And the funny thing is, she was choreographing it while she was teaching us. She was like, okay, we'll see if this works. If it doesn't work. And the thing is about Stravinsky music is not even. Like with the counts, there's like a 5/8 here, there's a 2/4, and they're like right next to each other. So trying to count that was very difficult. But once you get in the swing of it, it was very, very fun. The first movement we did, it was long. Everything was like pretty much good with the music, except at the very end of the third movement, we had to do some pirouettes, which I tried to avoid, but she wanted to put the pirouettes in. There was one combination, we did like a jump to a pirouette to turning. I don't know, it was very weird. And then there was one part that was like, it felt like a jazz dance, like the snapping. It was like 1, 2, 1, 2. Like, I just remember trying to count that every single show, and I could not get it. And there was a couple times I actually messed up on one of them. I remember it was towards the end. We were supposed to like go to the right. I went to the left, and I remember looking at everyone and being like, "Ooh!" And like split second, I was like, "Oh no!" But everything went pretty well. It was fun. It was challenging. But I'm so glad I did it. We did have to wear like leotards without skirts, which I did not particularly like. But at least the leotards were black, so that's always a good thing.
The souvenir pink leotards.
Oh no. But like once it was done, we all like took pictures together, and it was. I'm very glad I did it.
Yeah, I liked the whole experience of it because we were all very much in it together and going through that together, which I liked.
And it was a good group of people. We all were really good friends, and we all were helping each other with different moves, and we also were seeing each other probably every day practicing this. So that was fun.
And I think it was the group that like we all had known each other forever, you know. It was kind of like my class from growing up, the people who were still there, and then your class, and then Bree and Adri, you know, like we all had known each other for which was also cool. And we all got to do Serenade together.
I want to do that again.
I want to get a redo on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want to see a video of myself.
I want to see a video just so I can critique myself and be like, "Ha, I did it."
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks for sharing about those. I love that. So how are you guys staying sane during this time, or finding little moments of joy during this time? And maybe what advice do you have for people for anybody going through this time, and how to stay motivated? Maybe not motivated, but that's hard. But yeah, motivated or happy. Or Julia, do you want to start with that?
Sure. I don't really know. I haven't. So I had school. I had to finish. Yeah, I think we're gonna both got the same thing. That this meeting's been upgraded. I have been doing, or I had been doing school for the last like 7 weeks. So that was honestly a good distraction. It made me get up in the morning, and it made me just sit at my desk and do work for several hours, and then I would reward myself by going for a walk or watching TV or something. But it has been super hard to feel motivated without a routine. I tried like starting to run a bit because I like running, and doing these online ballet or Pilates bar classes and stuff. And there would be waves or weeks where I'd be super motivated, and waves where I would just not want to get out of bed. And so it's been tough. I definitely have, not gonna lie, I've gained about 10 pounds. And it's just hard because, I don't know. It's just, I think I base a lot of I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I think my background in dance and like having to look at myself in a leotard every day has made it hard for me to like feel happy and confident in myself if I don't feel physically fit or strong. And I don't feel that way right now. So I definitely am not at my peak in terms of happiness. But throughout this whole quarantine, I've just tried to get my body moving at least once a day. And, I'll do some work for some family friends here and there, make some money. My boyfriend and I'll be like cooking dinner every night together, and we'll go on walks and walk his dog and stuff. But just getting outside if you can. The rainy days, that's a crapshoot. Like I'm just on the couch all day. But um, yeah, I actually, like I said earlier, I have not had a great year with ballet mentally. I don't know why, but the confidence and the happiness was not there. And I have taken this time to actually not do ballet. I tried for the first couple weeks, and it just didn't feel, probably because I was in my living room, like dancing on a couch in my bare feet. But did I say on a couch? I'm on a carpet. But it just didn't feel, I was like, no, I just need to give myself a break from this because I love ballet and I love being in the studio and working hard and feeling strong and flexible. But I've taken this time to just give myself a mental break from ballet because I do feel like it's really put a toll on my mental health this past year. So that's something new. However, I am like, once the studio opens back up again, I would definitely love to take some ballet classes because I do feel my best when I'm taking ballet classes. But
yeah, I really like that. Especially when you were talking about like how physical health affects your emotional and mental health, because that's so true. Like it does. Yeah, like when I don't feel my best physically, then it affects me, and then it goes kind of down from there. But and especially you, Jules, like you like were so busy, like we all were, but you were incredibly busy and stressed with school and everything. That this is a really probably will be really good for you in the long run.
I think so.
Yeah. Laura, what about you? Disney Plus?
Yeah, so the first like couple weeks I watched a lot of Netflix and Disney Plus, but I actually was working out every day on my floor, like doing push-ups. Like I had a routine every single day. I do something, and I had like Saturdays off. It was really good. I was feeling really strong. I could see in my body like I started to get some abs, but then I had to go back to work. So I've actually been working full time, so I haven't actually been exercising. um but my job, I walk around all day, so I'm on my feet, so I am exercise. I'm not sitting watching TV all the time, which is good. I also teach ballet. I would teach ballet for a half hour on certain days, which was good to get moving. But it was very hard to. I was like, oh, I can normally bend like this much, and I could not bend that much. No. Definitely my flexibility has gone down and my strength, but I mean, I feel like it's been good. I mean, we do have up and down days for ballet where we're feeling really good, and then obviously some days where it's just not happening. Mental health is just not there. Um, so I think that it has been good to take a break. I'm kind of sad that we were kind of forced to take this break, and it wasn't. Well, we normally have a break where in between recital and like the summer kind of starts. We normally do have a break, but I'm sad that we like kind of were forced to take this break and kind of without any warning. It was kind of like, oh, maybe we'll be back next week, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
So I have been exercising, have been doing stuff. I've been playing outside with my dog and with my parents. I've seen my parents a lot more than I usually would have, which I think they like. I haven't seen my friends though. This is probably the first time I've seen Julia and Emma since we left when we were doing dress rehearsals for Beauty and the Beast like a couple months ago. So it's nice to kind of see new faces besides my parents and my boyfriend, which are nice, and people at work. But yeah, I've been trying to stay happy. I mean, I'm at work, so I do have something to do. I finished school, so I'm all done with that. But I was working a lot on that during the quarantine, trying to finish. But I mean, I think I've been doing pretty well. I haven't really been dancing all that much, just because I've been at work for like 50 hours a week. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard because, we all are in this together, although it's like hard to see when we like are on social media or like that person is doing their workout or that person and I'm just sitting here on my phone, like that is like that's hard for me that I've had to take a couple breaks because I'm like I have to remind myself like everybody is in the same boat, like
Right.
and thinking like, I'm healthy. live in a safe place, and there are so many people that are not healthy
Right.
and not living in good conditions. So that's what I go back to, especially because it's like it's hard, but just things like seeing your lovely faces and going outside
Yes.
is what gets us through.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me on my talk show today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
All right, I love you guys. Did you know we were in Disney this time last year?
I know, I'm getting all of these memories.
Makes me sad.
I know. I
So sad.
wore my ears the other day. We did like a Disney bar live.
Oh, I saw that. That was
Oh,
cute.
I saw that. Yeah.
We're not in Disney.
Oh yeah. It's like, what is it? We were in May. Oh yeah, because it was after school. Okay.
It was like right before recital because we got back and I
And
like
went to recital.
Recital.
Uh,
The day.
yeah, I'm glad I did not do recital that year because I would have showed up with my coffee like.
No, that would have scared the children.
Yeah, they probably would have. But yeah, as we were in Disney this time.
Oh, look at us.
Oh, Hollywood Studios.
That's
Speaking of Disney, Shanghai Disney just opened.
I saw
Really?
that.
So if anyone wants to take a plane ride to Shanghai,
Probably $17.
Probably. But, yeah.
I know. Well, thank you so much again for joining.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
All right. I love you. I'm going to stop this recording and then I'm going to end.